It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. It is Thursday. It is November 20th. And please believe me when I say I am so damn glad to be here. Very, very happy to be with you this morning. Next time I have a couple days off, I'm going to try to remember not to be sick as hell for those, because then I would have enjoyed myself. But
it's the worst.
Happy as I can be to be with you two and all of us for the Thursday morning ride. Let's get to it. We've got a bunch of stuff to get into today. None more important than the top of the hour business. I'm feeling Minnesota. Paul Fletcher, please, sir, some headlines.
Good to have you back. Target shoppers will soon be able to browse and buy items directly inside ChatGPT. God. This is part of a new partnership the Minnesota-based retailer says will make online shopping feel more like a natural conversation. The new in-app tool will let users shop across Target's full assortment, build baskets with multiple items, and check out in a single transaction. And then you can choose your checkout, whether you want to drive up, whether you want to have it delivered, et cetera, et cetera. But it's all going to feel like a natural conversation.
Okay, you're talking to a guy who didn't have an email address until the summer of 2000. So if you're wondering, my experience with ChatGPT to this moment is still nil. I don't know. Target, I've been to Target. You know, I get stuff there all the time. Good place. They have all the things I need.
Agreed.
It's just, you know what, man? I gave up video games when they went from a cartridge to a disc.
That's fair.
So, I'm not a Luddite, but boy, I sure wish I was.
Yeah, in this case, I think a lot of people. I think it's gonna take a minute.
Shopping for people sucks. Like, buying presents for people is hard.
Sure.
Especially because, I don't know any kids, so I can't just go buy them Tickle Me Elmo or whatever the frickin' kids want today. I got to buy presents for grown-ups, and they're difficult.
I tell you what, when I was in 10th grade, I batted 1,000 at Christmas. My whole family was coming back in. It was the first time we had a nephew on board. I mean, it was a big deal. And every present I bought that year, I was like, oh my God, this is great. And everyone really appreciated it. I've been chasing that high ever since, never got close. And again, that was Christmas of 80. Yeah. So trust me, it's been a minute.
I will say this, that we probably don't have the vision. This is one of those things where 5 years from now we'll go, oh, yeah, okay. This made a lot of sense.
Oh, sure.
So the O.J. Simpson estate has accepted Fred Goldman's creditor claim for nearly $58 million plus 30 years of accumulated interest. Malcolm Laverne, executor of Simpson's estate, negotiated the nearly $58 million sum with Goldman and plans to pay it by auctioning off Simpson's possessions. Simpson was found liable in civil court in 1997, ordered to pay $33.5 million in damages, most of which went unpaid during his lifetime. Laverne has rejected most other creditor claims, but accepted those from Fred Goldman and the IRS, with federal tax obligations taking priority. Fred Goldman has long maintained that pursuing Simpson in civil court was the only way to seek justice for his son.
So the O.J. Simpson estate said, okay, we'll pay Fred Goldman. And then they looked over at O.J.'s kids and went, oh, yeah, sorry, he did kill your mom. Our bad.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. The Beatles anthology series, originally released 30 years ago, is being newly restored and will air in a 3-night streaming event on Disney+. The newly restored version of the series will expand the original 8 episodes into 9, and previously unreleased footage of the surviving Beatles working on the anthology project will be included in the new version. Disney Plus will release the series in batches of 3 episodes over 3 consecutive days. So the first 3 episodes premiere on November 26th, next Wednesday, then 3 more on the 27th, last 3 on the 28th.
When people say we don't need more Beatles stuff, I say, no, I get it, man. It's been 55 years since they broke up. It's been 67 years since they first hit. What's the big deal? That said, I'll watch all 9 episodes. Make no mistake.
Today is Give to the Max Day, which began in 2009 as part of the launch of GiveMN.org. It's a website that helps nonprofits with online fundraising. It was successful right out of the gate, so it quickly became an annual holiday. According to GiveMN, $37 million was raised for 6,556 organizations during Give to the Max Day last year. Since 2009, get ready for that thing again, $400 million has been raised.
Oh.
So, I've got a lot of charities I'm tied to, but if you don't have, let's just say it's the giving season. If you feel like giving and you don't really know who you want, you can go to GiveMN.org, search for a category, find what you want, and give. So
Like it.
it's easy as it gets.
Heck yeah.
We've also got Rock the Pantry happening here. If you want to give food to the Open Door Pantry, we will gladly accept through tomorrow. And you might even get some free stuff.
2000 Southeast Elm Street. Let's go. 9 to 5 today and tomorrow. Drop off some food.
Hey,
Right?
this is sponsored by MSP Plumbing, Heating, Air, which is their offices are located in Woodbury, and you can drop off food there as well.
Oh,
If
nice.
It's easier
Nice.
for you to get to Woodbury. Heads up on that.
Excellent.
I think they said, too, if you scheduled an appointment with MSP, like their
The
technicians...
tech will just pick it up.
That's
yeah.
pretty great, too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cheap Trick is going to hit the road starting January 24th in Madison, Wisconsin in support of their 21st album, All Washed Up. That's the closest the tour is going to get to us. But I thought I'd throw this out there. If you'd like to make a road trip to Vegas in April, might be worthwhile, as the band is going to be doing 2 shows there where they'll perform 78's Cheap Trick at Budokan in its entirety, along with an additional set of greatest hits.
Middle school Steve just went, oh my God, no way. Here's the funny thing about Cheap Trick. They've never not been great live. Like any band you name, there's a tour, people look back and go, yeah, they were wasted, or you could tell they didn't like each other, or whatever. Man, Cheap Trick is as right as rain. Always awesome. And Robin Zander is a witch because he still hits every note. He's a freak. I'm telling you, man, that band is badass. For young rockers who don't care about old school classic rock, no, do yourselves a favor. Go see a real band that still does it. They're just incomparably fantastic live.
I love that. Man, I loved Heat the first time around. That film production on Heat 2, sequel to the 1995 crime classic with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, is officially a go. We reported rumors a little while back, but it's now official. Production is set to start early next year with Leonardo DiCaprio on board. Okay. And rumor is Christian Bale will be locked in next. Oh, and Michael Mann once again has written the script. There's just no way this isn't going to be great.
Wow.
Now you jinxed it.
No, I didn't. It's good.
Okay.
I
Gen
saw
Z
Heat for the first time like 2 years ago. I missed it in real time. And I have had people tell me it's their favorite movie for 3 decades. And I finally saw it, and I realized I probably need to watch it again. Either I was distracted, or maybe I was drunk. I don't know. I was like, yeah, it was good. I don't get it. But like Fletcher, I've had so many conversations with people that go, no, dude, you just... Clearly, I wasn't paying attention, or I was distracted or something.
Well, here's the other thing, too, is if you had 3 decades of buildup, there's no way, there's almost no film on the planet that'll live up to that. So maybe that's also part of it.
Except for being there. It always adds up. It's always worth it. That's just me.
All right, well, fair enough. I think this thing's going to be great. I'm so excited for it. A Wyoming sheriff had to remind criminals that you shouldn't raise your bond money by committing more crimes. Here's Laramie County Sheriff Brian Kozak with what happened and a little PSA for everyone.
They learned that Schoolcraft had actually been released from our jail, was on bond, and was en route there to get more drugs from the source. Entered the house with the intent to purchase drugs to deliver in Wyoming while on bond for the same thing. Remember, don't break law in Laramie County where crime is still illegal. And please, criminals, don't sell drugs or stolen property to raise money for your bond.
So just remember, in the wild, wild west of Wyoming, crime is still illegal.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah.
It's so I'm so thankful when people can simplify, because I'm like, it's kind of a gray area. Is crime illegal? And now at least I know in Laramie County, Wyoming, the answer is yes, it is.
Yeah, it's not a good idea to sell drugs to raise money to post your bail that you got busted for selling drugs.
If you're gonna, at least use one of those apps. Go dark web,
Chat
keep it all
GPT.
Yeah, Chat GPT. That's exactly what we need to do. Can we talk sports for a hot moment?
Yes, please.
How about the Minnesota Wild? How about Jesper Wallstedt finally gave up a goal, but it was okay because he's yet to lose in regulation. 42 saves last night over at the Grand Casino Arena in a 4-3 nail-biter. The Wild win in a shootout against the Hurricanes. Yep. That's a hell of a hockey team we beat last night. Matt Boldy had the only goal of the shootout. That's pretty exciting. The Hurricanes did score twice in the third period. We had them. We let them back in. Things happened. But unlike so many of the games early in the season, when it would go down to the wire, we came up on the winning end of this one. The Wild have won a season-best 3 straight games. They're on a 6-game point streak. They own only 1 regulation loss in their last 9.
Yeah.
That's fantastic hockey, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it going. For the 10th straight game, the Wild scored first. That's good stuff.
All right.
100%.
I mean, this is turning into, a lot of teams love or hate when they have a quarterback controversy. What about a goalie controversy? Wallstead is fantastic. His shutout streak. The Wild have gone over 300 minutes without giving up a 5-on-5 goal until last night. It's kind of nuts right now. He's playing fantastic. This homestand 4-0-1. Last homestand was 2-2-2, so that's a big turnaround. They've got 3 on the road coming up beginning Friday night in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. Let's go, Wild. Mm-hmm. Keep it going into the holidays.
I don't think it's too soon to just give the kid a nickname. He's Jesper Brick Wallstead is what it is.
Ooh, I like that one.
Because he is a brick wall.
Yeah, he is. The Timberwolves, as we expected, beat Washington last night. They beat every bad team they play this year. They're 10-5, 10-0 against teams under 500. Ant continues to struggle. Anthony Edwards, 18 points, but that's 6 of 20 from the floor, including 1 of 8 from three-point range. Something's going on there. But at least Julius Randle had 32 and Naz Reid, 28 off the bench. Nice job, gentlemen. Minnesota
Absolutely.
Vikings, oh boy, every time I hear more out of 9, I get a little more on edge.
Boy.
J.J. McCarthy was talking about the fact that he's learning differently from the way he's been taught previously. He said it's really hard. We're rewiring neurological pathways, and that's not something that happens overnight. That's a quote from a quarterback in the NFL.
Good Lord.
Rewiring neurological pathways, that's rewiring my neurological pathways into thinking about whether or not Indiana Hoosier quarterback Fernando Mendoza might enjoy some ice fishing. That's where my brain goes. Sorry, that's just me.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, they got to go to Green Bay Sunday. It's going to be a bit of a challenge. We will be talking with Sam Ekstrom, our Vikings insider, in the 8 o'clock hour. If you have any questions for Sam, please hit us up on the talk and text line 651-989-ROCK. I'm curious to hear what everyone thinks about our quarterback talking about rewiring his neurological pathways. Okay.
Yeah. What?
Hey, Maplewood. What's up, Maplewood? How you feeling?
They're shaped like a key. They got to be feeling great.
Oh, of
They're
course.
shaped like a key.
Yeah, that's what Maplewood. I was trying to find something on Maplewood to share with the peoples, and it's shaped like a key.
Yeah, my brain goes
bizarre.
right to that everything omelet when you say key, but that's just me.
Oh.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
I'm back after a couple days on the ER, in the ER, on the IR, on the bench. What am I trying to say? I was in the blue tent.
You were
The blue tent.
I was in the blue tent getting checked over. And when I was last here, Monday, we were talking about some DIY cures for sickness. Ryder, you had one from the Facebook page.
No shortage of people jumping in to help you get healthy. I got 2 from the Facebook. Ned says bourbon. Corey says pho. I vote for a combination of those 2.
Okay. Bourbon, done. Yeah, never a problem with that. You think it does more than it. You think it does more than it does. It feels good in the moment.
Sure.
You're like, oh yeah, this is going to knock me out. I'm going to stay asleep. I don't know that that's really true, but I will say I've gotten more sleep in the last 2 days than in, last 8 months before then, so that's helped out a lot.
Nice.
Fletcher, on the text line.
Well, first of all, I think next time I'm sick, I'm going to set a blue tent up on my bed. Just be in the blue tent. Got a text from 952 number. Put on some sweatsuits. Drink 2 fingers of brandy, lemon, and honey to go to bed, and you'll sleep like a baby. You'll feel better tomorrow morning. That's sweatsuits, plural, by the way. And from 507, slather your throat with chicken fat and wrap some dirty socks around your neck.
Inside or outside of the throat?
I'm
that I don't know.
Ward off a vampire. I'm trying to get rid of a cold. What is
I think it sounds kind of kinky myself.
Yeah, 1619 Eastern Europe action happening right there. That's what that sounds like to me. Hey, check this out. KQ's Rock the Pantry. It wraps up tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We are collecting non-perishable food donations. That's today and tomorrow at the KQ Studios, 2000 Southeast Elm Street. All of this for the Open Door Pantry. Every donor will get KQ swag and a shot to win awesome prizes: Minnesota Wild tickets, autographed pucks. The big one, a Kirill Kaprizov signed jersey. More information at 92kqrs.com. Rocking the Pantry, sponsored by MSP Plumbing, Heating, Air. Bring it over. Again, 2000 Southeast Elm Street, 9 to 5 today and tomorrow.
Those 97 jerseys are sweet, too. We've got 2 of them, by the way. So get in on it. Yeah,
let's go. The holidays are coming up, which means someone somewhere is going to be out of luck. There will be people stranded either by the airlines or by the ride that stiffed them. Ask yourself a question. How important is it to get everyone together? How far would you go to pick up a stranded loved one? We will discuss in about 5 minutes and 2 songs.
Gorman in the morning will.
And it begs the question, how far would you go for a loved one? I mean, what do you think the average person would say? Yeah, I would drive that far to go pick up somebody if they were stranded. Because I mean, we've got information in front of us, a new survey. So I'm curious. Just don't worry about if it's a loved one or a neighbor. Just generally speaking, we're all going to do our best. We're going to help each other out. What do you think the average person thinks is not too far to go drive? Ryder, how
10
far
blocks.
are you willing? 10 blocks.
No,
Someone's
in a
stranded.
car.
So, hey, I need a ride. Can you hook me up? Things went awry. Ryder's going to go 10 blocks.
You need to be less than a minute when I put the directions into Google Maps. No, I'd probably go to like St. Cloud, so maybe like 90 minutes.
Okay.
That seems reasonable, right?
That's very solid.
Makes me not an a-hole.
No. Oh, okay, that's the line. What makes you not an a-hole? Fletcher, what's your number? What comes to mind?
I think just right out of the gate, 3 hours.
3 hours.
Hours?
Yeah. Hell, I did that this summer. So, I mean, it's...
But that's 6 hours altogether. So you're 3 out and 3 back.
Yeah.
Wait, so somebody was stranded, someone needed a lift, and you went 3 hours this summer to take care of it?
I'm not stranded, but my daughter had a weekend at the lake with some friends, and I drove 3 hours to drop her off, and then drove 3 hours back.
Okay, that was pre-planned, though.
No, I'm talking about, how about the phone rings? Dude, man, I don't know, I have anyone else to call.
It depends on who it is.
3 hours away.
Okay, fair enough. It depends on who it is, though.
Okay, so it does matter.
Yeah.
There is a line, and that's a central nervous system algorithm. You can't imagine until it happens,
right?
And you just got to go with your gut on that one. I get that.
Steve, what do you think is reasonable?
Well, here's the problem with me. I love any excuse for a road trip. and if at the end of it I get hero points, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Ding, ding,
okay.
ding.
It's an excuse to stop at the gas station and get a bunch of bad food.
Yeah, exactly. You get to get a road trip you weren't expecting. Well, first of all, I love anything that's unexpected. I love complete. Wait, what? This just dropped in my lap, and I have to react and move and scramble and make it happen. I'm all for that. That's like I'm the opposite of the Boy Scout. Be prepared. No, just improvise, baby.
My butthole
don't be
just
prepared.
clenched like really badly, dude.
Right. So I live for phone calls like that. Can I come and get you? Why, yes, I can. Let me put everything else to the side and think about the music I want to listen to and the podcast I have to catch up on and hit the road. So I'd go. I mean, first things first is if it's 6 hours, that's a 12-hour round trip. Let's go. I'm a little nutty that way.
Freaking hours.
Wow. Steve is the guy to call if you're ever in a spot.
And by the way, and it's not because you're a great guy or gal. It's just because I got issues. That's really what that comes down to. I'm curious, how far would you go? And have you ever done this? Have you ever had the spur-of-the-moment call, bang, bang, boom, got to go? Or have you ever been the person making that call? 651-989-ROCK. That's the Luther Volkswagen, Westside Volkswagen talk and text line. Let us know. The Facebook page is lighting up already.
Sure.
People with stories of saving others. Speaking of my hero from the Foo Fighters.
Freaking electrician Alex says he drove all the way to Oklahoma to pick up his sister. She got into a beef with her boss. It was 26 hours total. And then Charlie's got a good Minnesota one because he was at Lake of the Woods. Stranded about 200 miles from home at Lake of the Woods. My nephew, Christopher, and my brother, Kevin, drove separately. So this is 2 people being real cool so that one of them could take the truck back and they could continue on their trip. So,
wow.
Nice job.
Oh, Yeah.
200
Very
miles.
strong.
That is.
We had to be bailed out. It wasn't a long drive, but it was New Year's Eve at like 10 p.m.
You and the family or you and the band?
Yeah. Oh, no, me and the family.
Okay.
This was the deal. So this is 21 years ago. This is 04 to 05.
Oh, very
New Year's
little
Eve.
kids, right?
Very little kids.
Mm-hmm.
We're at my brother's house an hour away. So we lived in Nashville, Tennessee. He lived in a town called Bowling Green, Kentucky. And we are at his house New Year's Eve. We have dinner. It's like 9 o'clock at night. And so we're like, well, let's get back home. Gonna put the kids in the car. They'll probably fall asleep. We'll cruise in. It's just an hour drive. It's 50 miles. It's nothing. At exactly the moment I cross the state line from Kentucky into Tennessee, I see something in the road. There's no way to avoid it. I'm boxed in by cars, and I just hear this boom into the bottom of the car.
Oh, boy.
And we're driving our car, and so whatever the thing was I ran over, it hit the oil pan, and just car loses all power almost immediately. All the lights in the dash freak out, and I am at the the entrance for the Welcome to Tennessee, the rest area, and I go right into that. And as I pull into a parking space, the car dies. I mean, we thank God made it there.
That's amazing.
But the car's just done.
Yeah.
And so we have to walk into the rest area. And I do have, of course, a cell phone. I call my brother. He doesn't answer because now it's like 9:30 New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, oh, come on, dude. Look at your phone. And make a few calls. Finally, he calls me back. I go, hey, man, we're at the state line, blah, blah, blah. I tell him. And he's like, all right. Next thing you know, he and my niece both come down in two cars because then we have to take her car. It's a long story, but they drove together. They both drove down. She gave us her car to take home to Nashville.
Yeah.
My brother then drove her back. Our car's just there at the state rest area. We have to get it towed the next day. But in between making that phone call and them coming to bail us out, my kids were playing with the doors in and out of the rest area, and it's the double doors.
No.
And my 2.5-year-old daughter's hand got caught, and one of the doors slammed on her finger. And when we pulled her hand out, all of her fingertips were flattened like paper.
No.
And the good thing about little toddler fingertips is they explode back later.
Right.
But they were flat, and we were like, oh my God, she just lost the use of 3 fingers for the rest of her life. And she was screaming like there was no tomorrow. I've never been happier to see a car pull into a rest area. By the way, we were the only people in the whole area.
Really?
It's New Year's Eve. No one's there.
Okay.
No one's there. Not anybody. No one ever showed up until my brother and my niece showed up. And by then, we had kind of got her talked off the ledge. But I did call and say, you need to bring ice as well. So not only did they rescue us, they had to bring ice. Anyway.
Holy cow.
And so that was only like for them, it was a 30-mile each way trip. But it was New Year's Eve, and their plans were interrupted. But that was a pretty big save.
It's true. It's true what they say. Kids are made of rubber.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
it's
literally.
incredible.
It's unreal that their fingers get smashed like that.
Absolutely fantastic. Anything on the text line from this sort of thing there, Paul?
Yeah, Big Lake Nate came up big. I drove from Big Lake to Racine for a buddy that broke down.
There you go.
And I'll tell you what, Rodney's a guy you want to have in your corner. Rodney says, we drove from Minnesota to Colorado to pick up a buddy that was stranded on his motorcycle.
See,
And
Rodney
that is...
Yeah.
And that's not just your ordinary average. What is that? Let me think here. Minnesota to Colorado. That's
You know what's in
gotta
between
be
those two things?
nothing.
Nebraska.
Yeah,
And it's way bigger than you think.
So
I should say
however-
it's way longer than you think.
Yeah, however long it is. I don't know if it's 12 hours or it's longer than that, but it feels like 4 days because it's brutal.
That's good stuff. Rodney gets it, man. It's like when the phone rings and you're like, there's nothing better than looking at all the plans you've made, looking at all the people who are counting on you and saying, no, I'm sorry. I have to go save somebody later. It's the best. You jump in the car. You haven't given it a lot of thought. You don't have you got to pull, like you said, you load up on some junk. You put in the music you want to hear. You put on KQ. You head west. Next thing you know, you're in Colorado. What a great
I consider
day.
myself a hero, but I also just consider myself a human being.
Exactly. That's always the goal. So just, again, the lesson as always, I'm always up for a spur-of-the-moment road trip.
Yeah.
Make no mistake about it. You can fake something, too. If either one of you guys called me and said, hey, man, I'm in Duluth, and I'd be like, cool, let me come get you. Okay. And then if I got there, you said, hey, I just wanted to test this theory, you know what I'd say? That's cool. I had fun.
I really don't believe that.
No, don't believe that for a second. No. I'm not a great guy. I just play one on the radio. Man, we got some awesome friends out there. Paul Fletcher, the talk and text line is loaded.
That's right. First, referencing Denver a bit ago, it's 13 hours, according to Mouth. He said, but he had to drive to Ohio to save his cousin from an a-hole who kicked her out of his car while they were on their way to Niagara Falls. Grabbed her up and came back. 22 hours there and back. This was back in the 80s when double crosses were everywhere.
Oh,
man.
My God, that is rough.
This one's insane. From a 507 number. Early It's. I was 2 hours into my fourth night at a new job. My friend walks in and said his sister was beat up by her boyfriend and we had to go get her. We walk out, stop by the Votech to siphon a tank of gas, then hit the road to Omaha, Nebraska with $21 and some change between us. 330 miles before cell phones, made it there and ran out of gas 30 miles from home. Another friend brought us enough to get home.
Yeah.
That's like a whole network
gas is something. Siphoning gas and Quaaludes is something I'm bummed I missed out on.
You can still siphon gas.
No, you can't. They put the little ball in there. You can't do it.
Yeah,
I'll try on your car, man, but I don't think you can.
All right.
It's funny. I didn't know. I'm of the generation that I also just missed out on what they used to call real Quaaludes. And I knew people who were older in the 80s, and they would get that faraway, misty look in their eye like, oh man, what happened to Quaaludes? Like it was just like what? It's like going to the fair and there's no cotton candy and you're all 7 years old. You know, it was like, man, like what was going on with those things?
I've got one more, and this is more of like this is to bring us back to reality of all these people talking about driving across the world, right? Ben, the tech guy, says, yeah, I fall asleep after an hour on the road. I'd be dead if I had to drive for a living. He said, I will gladly drive 45 minutes one way for Q Viet's egg rolls, though.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, right on.
So if you're stranded, screw you. But egg rolls, I'm coming.
Man, I'm sure he's got friends who have stories about him right around that 61-minute mark. All of a sudden, it's like, whoa, you're grabbing the wheel, yelling at him to wake up. That's great. But no shortage of answers have come in. Ryder, you have one.
On the tweet machine, at Hollywood Dan said 750 miles. Her fiance was a piece of garbage. Well, there you go. There you go.
Wow.
You got the old, hey, it turns out he's a piece of garbage. Come get me.
Yeah.
Got it on the case.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I like that one. Fletcher, what do you got?
On the text line, Paul from New Prague says, I've done 10 hours one way from south of Twin Cities to Williston, North Dakota with a tow dolly to save a friend and his car after he hit a deer.
Jeez.
Man, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's times in my life when I'm 10 hours away from the closest person I know. But
make some friends in Fargo.
It's like there's really, this is a ringing endorsement for just making sure you got friends everywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
One more from a 763 number. I broke down in Moab, Utah. My friend in Denver went to our other friend's house, retrieved our house keys, went to our house, got my truck keys, rented a tow dolly, and drove himself and his 5-year-old from Denver to Moab to rescue me, my wife, and 2 kids.
Dude.
Good friend.
That's a movie right there. My God.
Leave that guy everything you own in your will.
Man.
He
What about the
deserves
kids?
it.
What about the 2 kids?
They didn't come get anybody.
Oh, okay.
And if that guy's doing his part, he's holding it over your head every day.
Hell yeah.
You never let someone forget that one. Holy crap. Hey, Thanksgiving's coming up in a week, and we are going to play a little Rank You Very Much. Top 3 Thanksgiving side dishes. You can let us know your top 3, 651-989-ROCK.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Sam Ekstrom is going to join us on the horn, host and executive producer with the Locked On Sports Minnesota Podcast Network. Sam, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, Steve.
As we're looking ahead to this Sunday's game with the Packers, Sam, the Vikings were 50 seconds away from being 5-5 on Sunday. The Packers, they didn't go over on the Giants with Jameis Winston until there were only 4 minutes left in the game. They're now 6-3-1. Are these two teams closer to each other than their records right now might indicate?
I do not think so. I think the Packers are still a far superior team. If you look at the way their offense produces much more consistently, that's a different ballpark than where the Vikings are. I think you could actually make the argument that the Vikings are worse than their record of 4-6. I mean, you look at the way they've won a couple of their games. They clawed back late to beat the Browns and beat the Bears, but I mean, they really have. They've trailed for as many snaps as teams like the Titans or the Jets or the Commanders. They have played from behind all year long. That's the mark of a bad football team, and particularly a bad offense. So I feel like the Packers are deservedly about a touchdown favorite in this game.
Okay, I was just seeing if I could go 2 minutes without saying J.J. McCarthy's name, but here we go. Let's dive in. Kevin O'Connell yesterday, or a couple days ago, he said, we got to start seeing the cement dry on some of the things we've really worked hard to make football habits for him, fundamentals and technique. He's still talking about the most basic level things. And JJ is by no measure, no one's ever described him as being anything other than hardworking and really smart. Is he too smart? Is he overthinking? Is there just some piece of him that's just not able to take on some of the simplistic things that O'Connell's trying to teach him? What is going on here?
Yeah, I've never heard this much about technique with a young quarterback. A lot of times they come in and they have, I think, maybe a higher baseline of what they know how to do. And with McCarthy, KOC is keeping it very fundamentally focused, which I appreciate. He's looking at it at a very technical level and saying it's his arm slot, it's his feet. He's got too wide of a base. He needs to get narrower. He's not knocking his decision-making so much, but it's his technique that is affecting the throws. So basically, Steve, he's throwing to the right people, but he's throwing so inaccurately because he doesn't have good technique. That's what they're trying to build up with this kid. And I think what we're seeing is the loss of last season. He didn't get to develop behind the scenes last season. They didn't get to work on this stuff with him because he wasn't on the field taking real reps. I think this is probably the consequence of that injury, and it makes it feel much more like a rookie season for McCarthy. I think there were a lot of folks that hoped he could kind of forego those rookie woes because he was in the building for a year, and I'm just not sure that was the case. I think he still has a lot of baking in the oven to do.
I have coined the new term "laccuracy" as a lack of accuracy. So I'm working on a T-shirt deal for that right now. I just want you to know where it comes from when it takes over. So Sam, if this were his rookie year, would we be looking at him differently?
I think that's a fair question, and I think the answer could be yes. I just think that the urgency got ratcheted up because you have a limited amount of time with these young quarterbacks on these rookie deals, and you want to capitalize. And you've also built up this roster that has kind of a 2-year window. You've got most of this roster intact for this year and next year. And after that, who knows? After that, you're going to have to reset the deck in a lot of different ways. So they had this limited time frame, and that makes everything feel a little more important, right? There's a lot of pressure. Kevin O'Connell has said that organizations fail young quarterbacks. So how did he try to prevent that? He tried to build a lot of support from McCarthy, a lot of talent around him. But in some ways, all the talent that he assembled on this roster with the GM, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, that actually added to the pressure and has added to some of the negative discourse around J.J. McCarthy. So in some ways, it's worked against the organization that they have built this team full of stars and high-money players that was supposed to win this year.
Hey, Sam, it's Fletcher. You mentioned a bit ago that the Vikings might actually be worse than their record, and that's being felt apparently through the fan base. 763 number texts in and asked, are we in danger of losing Justin Jefferson next year, of him asking for a trade?
I'm going to kibosh that for now. I'm going to say no. I would be shocked if he were the receiver to rock the boat in that way and get super vocal and negative in that way. He's never shown that proclivity, and he's certainly had opportunities to do that in the past. He's had reason to be frustrated in the past, and I think that he's really bought into this organization. I think that he's appreciative to be here. I think that you're seeing competitiveness from him, and I think it's easy to mistake competitiveness for diva behavior or wanting out, because Vikings fans have seen that from receivers here in the past. I don't think Jefferson is that guy. I think that he's here for the long term. Never say never, but I think it would take multiple years of this to even create that possibility.
Right. I don't disagree. One more from Julie in Minnetonka, and I'm going to word it exactly the way she did. Why did the Vikings always pass the ball on 3rd and short? Why no faith in the running game?
Yeah, I like the 5 whys there. That was well worded.
Right.
Kevin O'Connell tried to explain this week, and I thought he tried to make some adjustments and run it a little bit more last Sunday, and then it kind of got away from him again. He tried to explain it by saying, in those situations, a lot of teams are putting 7 or 8 guys right up by the line of scrimmage. And if we choose to throw the ball there, we're going to get a favorable matchup. We might get one of our guys in single coverage, which is exactly what we want all game. It's so hard to get Justin Jefferson in a man-on-man situation. He's double-teamed all the time. So they're trying to take advantage of that with the lack of members of the secondary that are there to defend Justin Jefferson. But when you have an inaccurate quarterback like J.J. McCarthy's been, that doesn't work. You need to be more smash mouth. You need to take the 3 yards when you can get it and just move the chains, which the Vikings haven't been doing. They've got the shortest average length of drive in the NFL this year.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's not ideal.
I've seen the stat. I stopped reading all the things about JJ. The lowest pass completion, his percentage, his numbers are at the very bottom of the barrel across the league. There's nowhere to go but up, at least statistically. Or if you're number 32, you only got one way to go. So I'm always looking for the silver lining here. Sam Ekstrom's with us on Gorman in the Morning. The running game, back to a point that a listener asked a question about, the running game does seem to have found itself. I mean, that is a pretty positive takeaway, although the Packers against the run are a pretty tough matchup.
Yeah, last 2 weeks, Vikings have legitimately been a force on the ground, and they just haven't been able to lean on it as much as they want to because they've been playing from behind. Got down 2 scores against Baltimore, had to abandon it, down the whole game against Chicago, more or less, and really couldn't lean on it the way they wanted to. But they've been super effective, and I think that they've actually gotten back to where we thought they'd be when the year started, which is a heavy dose of Aaron Jones. He was the offense last Sunday. Aaron Jones in the passing game, Aaron Jones in the run game, put in Jordan Mason for a drive here and there, and he pops off. It worked out exactly as they envisioned. There was just no complimentary passing game to speak of. I think on that first touchdown drive, they didn't even throw the ball once. They just had a long kick return, and then they ran it twice, and they were in. Maybe that's the methodology. Just take the ball out of J.J. McCarthy's hands.
Sam,
Yikes.
Are you? I think about golf in that if you make an improvement to your golf swing, your round doesn't improve by 1 stroke. It improves by like 6 because you apply it over 18 holes. You see big leaps forward in golf. Do you think there's a chance that JJ is going to make a couple of connections, something will click, and suddenly he does leap forward, where that fourth quarter, last minute JJ, we start to see that throughout the game? I mean, is he close to connecting? It's like a Tetris. Is he just going to lock a few things in and suddenly make a big leap forward? Or is this just going to be tiny little breadcrumb of improvement after improvement? What is the team actually expecting to see?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it a million times before, and I'll probably say it a million more. Progress just isn't linear, and that applies to golf, and that applies to quarterback play. So I think if J.J. McCarthy locks some things in this week, he might look substantially better against the Packers, and then the next week against the Seahawks, it could be a step back. It may not be just clicking in whatever the technique is, and then he's good to go. I think it's going to be a battle to get that right more consistently than not, and hopefully over time, those times where the technique slips become fewer and farther between. But I think it's going to be an up and down roller coaster battle, and I'm not sure that how much you can be expected to develop in season. A lot of the development is supposed to happen in the off season, where you can really drill technique, and then you come into the season, hopefully you're ready to go. So I think the inconsistencies are probably inevitable for these final 7 games, and then you hope he builds some momentum and has some positivity heading into the off season, and is able to drill it with his coaches and, come back a different person next year.
I did see a quote from JJ where he said he's rewiring neurological pathways as he's learning new things about football. And I thought, well, that's rewiring my neurological pathways to look at this Fernando Mendoza kid down at Indiana. For any fan who's looking at the draft and this is not a banner class of college quarterbacks coming out. It's not the kind of situation where, oh my gosh, I wonder if we should trade up and go get X, Y, or Z. There doesn't seem to be one of those can't miss prospects. So safe to say what you just said, this next offseason will probably be all about JJ yet again. Would that be the safe assumption?
Yeah, I think he would have to be really dreadful for the next 7 games to change that plan. We've seen a number of quarterbacks that from if we think of this as year 1, and not year 2 for JJ, but this his real rookie year. From year 1 to year 2, that can represent a big jump. I mean, we saw what Caleb Williams has become, and he's certainly not a finished product over there in Chicago, but he looks a whole lot better, and his decision-making is a whole lot better. We saw Josh Allen take a couple of years, and Joe Burrow, in his second year, he made the Super Bowl. So that there can be a sizable leap into that second season, which I think the Vikings have to count on. I just think the backup situation needs to be a little more solidified. You traded your backup that you had all preseason in Sam Howell. You got Carson Wentz, who has been doing nothing all off season really, and then you try to make that work, and Wentz gets hurt. You need a little better backup situation next year because of McCarthy's own injury history. But I think he's going to be the guy next year. I'd be super surprised if the Vikings went in another direction.
Sam, we were discussing greatest or our favorite Thanksgiving sides. What's yours?
I love a good cranberry relish.
Okay.
So non-canned?
What was that?
So you're not going to do the canned cranberry jelly thing that is actually much better than real cranberry sauce?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if you had my grandma's growing up. She made a mean cranberry relish.
All right, bring it in next time.
I've had it a few times.
I'm not sure that I need to go digging through the archives and try to find the old recipe. I'm trying to think what else is my go-to. I like a good mac and cheese. Like a good stuffing. The traditional ones. I don't know if we're going too far off the board here.
All right.
That's fine.
That's all good stuff right there. So, all right. So it's going to be, a week from now, we're going to gather around the Thanksgiving table. We'll be watching football, but we won't be seeing the Vikings play. We will see the Packers on Thanksgiving Day. What will we be saying about the Packers-Vikings game Sunday? What is going to happen, Sam?
I'm expecting a better Vikings offense. They've gone into that stadium and won the last 2 years, but I tend to think that Green Bay is going to emerge in this game. They're really good on third down. They're really good in the red zone. The Vikings have been surviving defensively by holding teams to field goals of late. I'm not sure they'll be able to do that against Green Bay. I think Green Bay wins. I think that people have started to sort of abandon their hopes for this season, and they won't be shocked by the result. They won't be stunned or devastated by the result, but I think it's going to be Green Bay emerging 27-18 on Sunday.
That sounds good. I appreciate it always. Sam, thanks for your time. Have a great Thanksgiving, man. We'll catch up in a couple weeks.
Hey, you as well, Steve. Thanks.
See ya.
You know that rewiring of neurological pathways?
Yeah.
What they need to maybe rewire is to make him think that it's the last minute and a half of the game starting at the beginning of the game. That's what they need to rewire.
Yeah, it's just there's some scientist at Stanford has done something with a mouse in a maze that we could just put into J.J. McCarthy's brain. I guarantee it. There's a way to make it, like, hey, that cheddar's right around the corner. Boom. Just reset that thing every time.
This is like when you set your clock 5 minutes fast and think you're going to get to work earlier. It's not going to work.
Very good point.
No.
Yeah.
We got to do a quick shout out. We lost him, though, but Sam's going to be calling the Frost games this season, or a whole bunch of them. So hopefully we get to chat with him more about a winning team.
That would be cool. Yeah, have him on and talk Frost every now and then would be fun.
Oh, by the way, speaking of cool, why don't you make a plan to meet up with 92KQRS tomorrow at the Electric Fetus for a replacements listening party?
Very
boy.
Cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
The Fetus is going to spin the newly released deluxe edition of Let It Be. Plus, you can pick up replacements posters while supplies last and other freebies from KQ. The needle drops Friday, tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. at the Electric Fetus, 4th and Franklin in South Minneapolis. Oh, I would be embarrassed to say times I've listened to Let It Be start to finish, because when that record came out, I clearly didn't have a social life.
I don't think you'd be embarrassed.
Stop listening to it. Oh, my God. There were people all around me having fun, and I was just listening to Let It Be over and over and over and over again.
That's right.
I don't regret it. One of my favorite albums of all time. Cool. That's tomorrow at 4:30 at the Electric Fetus.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. This is Gorman in the morning. We are talking Thanksgiving side dishes. We're going to rank them 3, 2, and 1. You are welcome to share yours on the Luther Westside Volkswagen Talking text line 651-989-ROCK. Let's just dive right in, shall we? I wish we were diving in. I'm starving. Ryder, let's go to number 3.
Number 3 is, and because I'm a simple person and because I usually have to do the cooking myself, I'm just going with straight up Bisquick drop biscuit. You put the milk or whatever in with the Bisquick and you mix it up, and you don't need it. You just put it on the sheet pan and you put it in the oven.
Okay, all right.
Just grab a ladle and chuck it in.
Yeah, I mean, I might not even cook them some days.
Really?
To be honest with you.
Drink it?
No, don't do that. You'll get salmonella or whatever.
Yuck,
but
yuck.
Yeah.
I like a lot of different varieties of what people call biscuits. I'm not one of those people who comes from the South and wants to tell the world how they're doing biscuits wrong. That's not my vibe.
Sure.
But I know a lot of people that are that way, and just trust me when I say you're welcome. Because there's nothing, as a Southerner, there's nothing I hate more than when Southern people argue about biscuits.
Biscuits, yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, the fists will be flying when biscuits get, when the conversation starts up about that. All right, Fletcher, you're number 3.
You know what? My number 3, you had mentioned earlier that your wife does a killer homemade stuffing with, I think, sage and sausage and whatnot. I dug a little deeper because my number 3 is my sister-in-law, Katie's, homemade from scratch stuffing, and she does indeed apply sage and sausage. I found out that's the secret ingredient, so it's probably why it's so damn good. Worthy of being number 3.
Yeah. It has to hit your list somewhere along the way. My number 3, a little bit of a wild card for a lot of people. For me, it's just become normal. That would be the Italian sausages. That's right.
Italian sausages.
Yeah. I married a woman named Priola. Her family comes from the toe of the boot, Reggio di Calabria in Italy.
Okay.
And there's just an Italian sausage pretty much with every meal. But at Thanksgiving, I was surprised to see the first time. Nothing I like more than a big plate of Thanksgiving food, all the classics, and then just a frickin' overly cooked, perfectly spicy Italian sausage right there on the plate. It's something I can't live without it now. At first I think it was just the adrenaline of a new Thanksgiving staple. Like, this is cool. No, but it's got some staying power. I need that sausage on there, even if it's just one. I've never had just one, but even if it was just going to be one, I'd be good to go.
Okay.
The fact that more often than not the turkey is as dry as a bag of peanuts. You need that something else to go there. I'm a big ham guy, but the sausage, oh come on, spectacular. Don't knock it till you try it. A little Italian sausage, a little red sauce there as a side. Happy Thanksgiving.
Do you let the Italian sausage touch the other Thanksgiving foods?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, everything touches. But my plate looks amazing before the fork touches the first bite. And then before long, it's a Jackson Pollock piece of artwork. It's just, It makes no sense. You can't tell what started where or what is actually. My Thanksgiving plate, before I'm finished, looks like it's already been eaten and then brought back out. It's just all a mass. It's
that just means you're doing it right. By the way, my brother, this is a fun fact. My brother had one of those plates with the dividers in it until he was 16.
Huh.
He doesn't like he's fine now.
Oh, he's not alone. That's a very Minnesota thing.
Not like stuff touching.
Don Gorman, my father, lived his life not allowing food to touch each other, and he joined the Marines, and he made the mistake of day one at boot camp in line, asked the guy to make sure the food didn't touch.
Oh, God.
And for his entire boot camp experience, all meals served in a bowl.
Yeah, that's what they do in the military.
Yeah, they're like, oh, really? You're neurotic. Well, we're going to take that right away from you. Enjoy every meal, no matter what it was, in a bowl for the rest of his boot camp
Marines
experience.
are funny.
Did he just adapt to it and go with it from that, like, throughout the rest of his life? Or did he go back and be like, nope, I'm going to have it my way again?
I am legally prohibited from commenting on his meal protocol after 1959.
Fair enough.
Ryder, you're number 2.
That's funny.
It's mashed potatoes and gravy all freaking day, and I don't want to hear anything about your grandma's or your wife's or your sister's homemade gravy stuff. The best stuff comes from a jar, and we all know it.
Yeah. You know what? Instant Spud Flakes and jarred gravy, it's still great.
Yeah.
The good thing about mashed potatoes and gravy, kind of like pizza, when it's bad, it's still pretty darn good.
Yep.
That's probably some truth to that.
Game on.
We can all take hours and talk about the magnificence of truly wonderfully prepared mashed potatoes and gravy, but like I say, just Spud Flakes and jar. That's gotten me through a lot of dark days in the past, and I was just fine.
All right, my number 2. I got the corn souffle, known around these parts as scalped corn. It's basically a creamy corn. You got some sour cream in there. You got some corn muffin mix. Oh my God, it's so good.
Corn. Okay, my wife is a.
Shut it.
My wife is a cornaholic. She loves corn. But we just have corn, just straight corn.
Is corn on the cob?
You're not doing it right though.
Cob. No,
cream
the
style,
cob.
baby.
Just niblets. And that's just how she likes it. So I like it that way too. And of course, you get corn in everything. I mean, you dollop the mashed potatoes, you do the little, you put the hole in the middle for the gravy, and then just a scoop of corn in there, just because it's going to get in there eventually. Might as well just mix it in.
Sure.
Have your little corn floating in the gravy.
I still maintain the fluffy baked corn casserole thing is where it's at though.
What's coming in?
My number 2, the dinner rolls. The rolls. They don't have to be handmade at all. Just go buy, whatever brand you prefer. But they got to be warm. They got to be the last thing out of the oven. They have to hit the table hot still, so that, as soon as you open one up, you're like, with your fingers and your thumbs. The butter melts immediately. That roll is going to be dipped in gravy. It's going to wrap itself around some meat. It's going to sop up the last vestiges of my plate. When I'm full, when I'm sick, when I have lost all self-respect, and there's still that little bit of, there's a little bit of gravy, a little sliver of potatoes, a little chunk of something here and there, I'm going to take that 3rd, 4th, maybe 5th roll of the meal and just sop up the plate. It's going to look like Chauncey got a hold of that plate when that last roll is finished rolling it. My bloat will only be complete when I've put in a roll that my body wants me to reject, but my brain just will not allow it to be that way. The perfect roll is just a gorgeous, gorgeous thing. It's a before, during, and after dinner mint for me.
It's a big, thick, fluffy sponge is what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Heck yeah.
It's a gorgeous thing. 651-989-ROCK. Let us know your top 3. Oh, how about just a few texts? Let me know what the people have to say, Paul Fletcher.
All right, well, I just want to say that since this last round, a lot of scalped corn has been coming in. So take that. Wah, 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 wah.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Tracy Tracy says number 3, banana pudding. Number 2, scalped corn. Number 1, stuffing from inside the bird.
Oh, fancy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Chris in Bloomington mentioned at number 3, cranberry sauce that looks like the can.
Yes.
Which is a very important stipulation. My favorite that has come in, though, is from Ryder's dad, Jim.
Oh, what's Dad got?
Because he is so right. One that I've completely overlooked and feel embarrassed as a Norwegian Minnesotan. His number 3 is lefse.
Oh,
good Lord, he couldn't be more right.
He didn't put that at number 1. The deal with lefse is one year at Thanksgiving, I ate so much that I got sick, and I haven't eaten it since.
I don't blame you there. He actually mentioned your drop biscuits at number 2. His number 1 is making me salivate. Stuffing made with White Castle burgers.
Oh, I've heard about this, but I haven't had it yet. This is a recent addition to his Thanksgiving dinner.
I see. You don't take part in that dinner? You need to go eat his stuffing.
He lives in Florida, man.
Oh, right. My bad.
I'm just reeling in the fact that I've thought this whole time you were saying scalped. And you're saying scalloped. That's my bad. I thought you were saying
scalped too.
I probably said it weird. I probably said it lazily. Okay. Instead of scalloped, I said scalped. You know what I mean?
Scalped. Wow. No, scalloped. Okay, that makes a little more sense. I still can't say I've had it. Maybe I have. It was just under a different name, but now I'm just glad that we're all on the same page. All right, it's time for our number 1s, Ryder. What have you got?
It is a nice, cold, frosty Grain Belt Premium that has to be stored because the fridge is so full of food. It has to be stored either in the garage or outside the sliding glass door on the back deck.
Man,
it just tastes different.
It just tastes different. That's no different than the smell of Grandma's house. Like the feelings that's bringing to me is just like, oh, yeah, just that can opening up. Oh, that's gorgeous.
All right.
I'm digging that. Fletcher, what's your number 1?
I got to go to Mom's sweet potato casserole or sweet potato pie. It's brown sugared to death, and it's not even mashed sweet potatoes. It's like they're whipped. The way she gets in there and gets after it. And then, of course, you got to put marshmallows on top. Honestly, she could make one for everybody and one for me, and I'd be a happy kid.
Mama Fletcher make this noise when she's doing the potatoes?
She's got a few power tools that do make that sound, yeah, for sure. I think that's her
mixer. I like that.
Yeah.
My number one is the at our home, the homemade stuffing and or dressing, if you want to call it that, depending on what you prefer. Mm-hmm. This is honest to God. There's breadcrumbs. I was once sent out to get the breadcrumbs, the fresh breadcrumbs from the store for the stuffing. Nice. And I brought back, I kid you not, enough for like 17 casserole dishes of breadcrumbs. Rosemary's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I just didn't think I had enough. And she's like, I needed one bag. You brought back a dozen. But I was that excited. There's sausage, there's sage, there's port, there's dried cranberries, there's all these things.
Yum.
It takes it just the mix before it's even in the oven. I want to take bites of it. Browning the sausage, getting it ready. The whole process of making it excites me. The smell of that stuff when it's in the oven and it takes over it supersedes every other moment of the meal. The smell of this stuffing is more important to me than anything else I put in my mouth. It's the first thing I will eat. It's what I will eat as I'm cleaning. I will be just having spoonful and then, putting stuff in the Tupperware or whatever, and then I'll be loading the dishwasher, and then I keep the stuffing's out till the very last because I have to keep eating it because I have no self-respect.
No self-control.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
So that's my number 1 with a bullet, as they say.
The way you lay it all out and the level of detail and thought that you put into that, it's hard to combat.
It's just nothing quite like it in the world. All right, that's it. That's our top 3. You can still share yours, 651-989-ROCK. We got a little bit of time left, just enough, in fact, for the last word. It was on this day in 1983 that Gen X was born. Oh, you didn't know that? Allow me to explain. On this day, 1983, ABC aired a movie called The Day After. It was hyped for weeks ahead of time. The movie depicted the aftermath of nuclear war. And for anyone who doesn't remember, trust me when I say it was terrifying. It showed up close what happens after. And based in a town in Kansas, obliterated by Russian, Soviet ICBMs, 100 million Americans watched.
Really?
Yeah.
4 years later, while we were negotiating with the Soviets about nuclear weapons, Soviet state television aired it as well, uncut, unedited. But back to the U.S., ABC and their affiliates had 1-800 hotlines all around the country with counselors standing by to take calls from traumatized viewers. They knew. Yeah. Here's the thing, but it's overlooked when we look back on the film. The day after this film, it birthed Gen X. One day, we were just not boomers, we're whatever that next thing was, and the next day we were Gen X. What is Gen X? What do they exhibit? A little touch of dread, nihilism, a generally despondent attitude. I'm here to tell you it's because of this movie. If you, like me, were 18 when this was on TV, your response to everything for the rest of your life was going to be, yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
So thanks, ABC. Thanks the day after. Happy birthday, Gen X.
There you go.
Tomorrow on this
That's
show, our buddy Elizabeth Reese is coming from Twin Cities Live. Right on.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
She always lights the place up like a Christmas tree. Fletcher, what's up next?
Commercial free after 11:45. Rocking the Island tickets. Wild taking on the Washington Capitals tickets. And you know what? In the 10 o'clock hour, I'm play Crowded House. And I haven't played Natalie Merchant in a bit, so I'll do that.
Gorman in the Morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the Morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.